Okay, we're back. And we're back. I do apologize here for the camera dying on us, but we should be back. We should be good to go. I'm just now catching up with the epic Cheesedophia stream. The event was super fun, and every SSG fan should catch it live if they can. Right, you were there, if I'm not mistaken, correct? I believe I saw you on the bracket, but let's go. Glad you enjoyed. The same flat factor proxy DTs in my base yesterday. Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. But I'm glad you enjoyed. But with that, Rogue does take down Gimme Here 2-1, and now we're getting into our next match of the broadcast. Up next is going to be Maru versus Solar. Let's go. Another TvZ. Another Terran versus Zerg. As we are going to be loading into ley lines as game number 1. But again, I do apologize if I missed out on the turrets being built in the main base mineral line, for sure, and the natural mineral line. Do apologize if I missed that. But here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. Now, something that we mentioned coming into this, and we may as well reiterate once again, is I was curious to see how Maru was looking in this season of GSL, because we did see his kind of return to form. Again, for those that are unaware of Maru, he did take a long hiatus away from StarCraft at the start of the year, where he wasn't playing, he wasn't practicing, wasn't participating for like a good, 5 months? Around 5 months, around a 5-month period. But now then he did return, of course, for GSL Season 1, and he was looking a little bit rough around the edges. Basically, he was doing non-stop all-ins, non-stop 2-base all-ins and 3-base all-ins in every single matchup, except for TvT, of course. That did continue into DreamHack Dallas. That trend did continue, and now coming into GSL Season 2, I want to see if that's still the case. I want to see if that's still the case, or if we can embrace some longer macro. We'll see. For now, we do have our racks on low ground, and looks like once again, just like Gumiho, going racks expand into a factory, but being even greedier than Gumiho. Okay, going into a reactor before anything else. So delayed Reaper, delayed Marine, delayed units here for Maru. Very greedy. Behind this hatch gas pool, I do think this is really smart, specifically against Solar, just because Solar, he isn't one to cheese. Like Solar, he's probably the most standard of all Zerg players in Korea, right? When I think of, even when Dark is around, like when I think of Dark, when I think of Rogue, when I think of Shin, when I think of Solar, he's, again, the most standard, the most normal, the most, like, quote-unquote EU Zerg. And with that, Maru can take advantage of that, or his opponents can take advantage of that. So racks into reactor into CC, followed by the factory. We spoke about the advantages and disadvantages of this build, and the big downside, of course, is that if he's up against a roach all-in, then the natural and the production is going to be exposed. But as we can see, I mean, as I just mentioned, Solar, he isn't really one to roach all-in in TvZ. That's just not his style. So you can get away with this greed. Can get away with this. This is the most one-sided matchup we have at this top level. I would not say that. I would not say that at all. As Maru is going for a Hellbat push. So the armory has been thrown down. Now with the early reactor, now we see the purpose. The early reactor was to deny the vision, deny the scouting, and then bam, we switch into factory, into Hellbat push. Again, this is a very greedy variation, but the Link Scout does confirm. Solar, he does get into the main base, he does confirm what is going on. He is fully aware of the armory. So being shut down. Maru moving out. At least Solar, he's now aware of the Hellbats. Building up more queens. Is building up those queens. Lings are amassing as well. Again, Solar, he saw what was coming ahead of time. No Baneling response though, just pure Ling Queen. It is going to be a tough hold, even knowing that it was coming. Okay, Hellbats, they do morph in. The Lings, they try to collapse on the Marines. They fail to. Does get one Hellbat, though. One Hellbat does go down, and Solar holds. Whew, okay, Solar, he does hold on. And behind this Maru, he is going to be embracing mech. Again, not the first time we've seen mech out of Maru. Again, when it comes to Maru's play, if Bjorn is doing something, so is Maru. And if you remember, last season, Bjorn did mech it up, and Maru now doing the same. So Bjorn and Maru, they have been embracing that mech style. Of course, Gumiho was able to pull off a very exceptional form of mech on Maganatha. Like, I'm still in awe. Like, I'm still in shock and awe as to game 1 on Maganatha between Gumiho and Rogue. Like, that was a crazy game. Meanwhile, ooh, faking Stim. Okay. Stim is going to be revealed here at the natural, which means Solo with a Link Scout, he will believe that it's going to be Pyro. Oh. Yeah, not like this. Zergling does move out, does confirm that, yeah, the Tech Lab is researching. Now, thankfully, he's going for a safety Roach Warren. Again, it's not uncommon even against Spire to go into Roach play. It's a very safe way to play out early game's EVT, is to embrace Roach production. Meanwhile, we can see, yep, the upgrade is cancelled, and we're going into Macville Accelerator. So we're going into Battle Mech. So this is a very different style than what we saw from Gumiho earlier. Gumiho, he went for a more flexible, traditional form of mech, into a bit of everything. It was crazy. Here, this is more standard. This is more just battle mech. I say more standard, of course, the build is hidden. It is hidden. And Solar's still not fully aware as to what's going on. Lair is on the way. Cyclones are building up. You know, might want to get like a mid game or a mid to late game ZVT here with Maru. It's not going to happen. At least not a biocentric one. Oh boy. It's going to be a night of StarCraft. As we are going to be rotating. Behind this is a decent amount of Roaches here waiting, thankfully. As the Roach army has been amassing. Likewise, Cyclone is now revealed. Now Soul is fully aware. He's aware of the mech. Ooh, but he's out of position. The base is going to be denied. Oh, I say that. Roaches are keeping up. I assume there were more Cyclones with this. So far, the Roaches, they do keep up. Ooh, 2 of them do go down. It's still going to be a clutch hold, though. Queen's now coming in. And there are just so many Hellions. Even if we had Zerglings, we couldn't really close the distance. Not like this. Yeah, not like this. Queens are being targeted. More transfuse being spent. Solo bleeding out so much to try to save the base, and I don't think he can. Yeah, the base does complete. Creep is spreading, but it's going to go down. Yeah, there's no saving the expansion. Massive pickup. Takes down the 4th. What's scary about what just happened, he didn't just lose the 4th base, he fought for the 4th and still lost it. Like, he bled out so many Roaches in the process, and it just was not worth it. That was what that was. 6 Roaches going down, 2 Queens. More Roaches going to be falling as they try to chase this down. At the same time, Roaches, they do counterattack. True. They do hit the 3rd. Not bad. Getting a couple of SCVs, catching some of the production. Catching reinforcements once again, getting on top of the Hellions. Solo making the best out of this situation. And he's going to keep going. Has to keep pushing, does force a cancel. Nicely done. Denies the 4th. Denies the 4th base, and behind this Solo, he's not droning. Solo, he's not droning, he's just massing Roach, rallying everything across the map. Solo, he has to break the 3rd, and he might just break it. Deeper's going to be going down. Hellions as well. And now pushing into the natural. Oh, gets a tank. Not bad. Takes down the tank. Denies the 3rd. And now Solar can drone. Now Solar, he can establish his 4th base. He can double expand. Drone on up. Now he's broken free. Maru does pull back home. Black Solo once again denying the third. And that's what he has to do. His win condition, deny the third base for as long as possible. Takes out one of the tanks. Gets one, gets two. Oh, barely doesn't get the third. Yeah, bled out a little bit too much there. Did overextend. Now switching into Swarm Host. Okay. Now this can work considering we already see Maru switching into tank, right? Against Battle Mech, Swarm Host can really struggle, but against a more tank heavy style, that's where Swarm Host can excel. So Swarm Host, they are viable here for Solar. Hellions with them in our line. Oh, getting 4 drone kills so far. Getting 4, getting up to 7. Decent damage. They do spot the Swarm Host. Very important scouts. Behind us, we need more Cyclones. We need a more Cyclone heavy style, or to go into Banshee like Gumiho did. Both would work. For now, what are we going for? Locust Wave towards the expansion. Oh, Cyclones, they catch out some of the Swarm Host. Gets broken. Swarm is coming in, going for the tank line. And how many can he get? Does go for the dive. Gets one. And 1, 2, 3 tanks going down. A little bit of a lackluster Locust Wave. But he's chipping away at the tank count. You know, Maru, he's getting his 4th. Solar, he has to recognize what's going on. He cannot let this 4th base get up and running. Like Maru, it's one of, Solar is one of those things where the soup does lie. The soup does lie. Solar, he's maxed out. He's up, what, 60 supply? Almost 70? But it is inflated supply with Road Ravager and with Swarm Host as well. So he has to keep trading. Cannot let Maru stabilize. Gets over the tank. There we go. 1 tank does go down. He gets 1. He barely gets 2. Takes down 2 tanks. Trades here with the Hellbats. Cyclones, they do trade very efficiently. Take down a line of Roaches. Roaches getting called out. Solar, he does pull back. And now he spots a 4th. Now he sees. Very important here. He's now aware of the expansion. Maru does take a bout to the face. Maru does take a bile. Locust Wave in towards that 3rd. Expansion is denied. And Solar is still in control. He's still in control, thankfully, now that he denies the base. If that 4th got up and running, that would have been disastrous. Files, they take down a Cyclone. Ravagers are exposed. Another tank goes down. Down to only Cyclone Hellbats. No more tanks. Boys being pulled, and Solar, he's done it. At this point, like, he is doing it. 0 tanks left. Takes down 10 SCVs. And yes, these Cyclones, they still out-trade the Roaches, but now we can just keep maxing out. So we can keep remaxing. Nice Fungal. Locust Wave is almost ready. Another Fungal will connect. Solar trickling in. Here comes that Locust Wave. And here he should collapse on the army. Oh, going for the Cyclones. He gets 1, gets 2. Takes on 2 Cyclones, so he has to get out of here. Yeah, he has to get the hell out of here. He's getting called out. Losing 3 Swarm Hosts, 4, 5. Oh my god. And you can see why we mentioned earlier how Swarm Hosts, they excel against tanks, so they struggle against Cyclones. That was 5 Swarm Hosts going down instantly. Just so fragile. As Solar, he rotates, spots a 4th. Once again, he has to deny this. He needs to deny the expansion. While zoning away. Getting a couple of SCV kills, not bad. That one Roach putting in the work. And he should take down the middle line. Massive pickoffs here. Again, as long as Maru can't expand, Solar can keep trading like this. Like, these are inefficient trades from Solar, but he has the economy, he has the bases, he can afford this. Just has to keep throwing away Roaches, and he'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, Does rotate once again. Does catch a fungal. Very nice fungal. Locking down some of those cyclones. That was one cyclone going down, and then you can see, like, for every one of these big fights, he gets like maybe one, maybe two cyclones. But what's important, gets the mineral line. 16 SCVs. Takes down another mineral line. Once again, rotates. Like, Maru, he's trading so well. But without an economy, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. He's getting his fourth up back up and running. That is dangerous. That is scary. Cannot let it get up. Locust Wave collapsing in. Not bad. Takes down a cyclone. Zones back the cyclones, which means the mineral line goes down. Which means the mineral line goes down once again. Takes down the mineral line. Do I want to look at the efficiency? Do I dare? Oh god! Oh god! Mineral-wise, they've been some even trades. Okay, killing enough SCVs. Of course, almost double the gas count loss, but minerals, close. And he's gonna get another mineral line. Yeah, another mineral line should go down here. Oof. Takes out all the SCVs. Takes out all the mules. That's gonna be 32 SCVs going down. Let's go. That's a lot of cyclones. That's a lot of cyclones. Solar, he has to be careful here. Solar pulls away. Behind this, still maxing out. From here. Do you see the scan, trying to get a read what's going on? Maru desperately trying to expand, trying to get another CC. And again, the win condition for Solar is never to break the natural, break the third. It's just to cripple the economy, deny the base whenever he can. Ooh, tank line here at the fourth. And now that means the natural's exposed. Just poking whatever he can. Oh. Likewise lands a fungal. The chain fungal as well. Then GG gets called. Yeah, too many losses here for Maru and Solar. He will break through. He will overwhelm. Whew, and Solar will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG. Well played again. A very intense game there between Solar and Maru. I will say that I loved Maru's build. If you recall, winding it back, remember he faked. He did so much actually. He opened up racks on the low ground, racks into factory, reactor into add-on swap into Hellbat push. And if you remember, honestly, that could have ended the game then and there. But Solo got in. He got in with his lings and he got a full scout. And he did confirm the armory, and that should not have happened. That should not have happened. So Maru did slip up, the ling got in, and with that he was able to confirm what was happening. Back at home, he didn't overdrone, he got lings, so he got queens, he was able to defend. And then we saw Maru hide his mech transition, which also was trading quite well if you remember. Maru, he denied the fourth. He denied the fourth base, was trading well, but he did overextend, and we saw that Solo basically committed to an all-in. He went all in from there. He was able to break the siege line from there, back off, and just make sure and ensure that Maru never got a fourth. He never got a fourth base. Not the most efficient trades out of Solar, but just made sure that there was no expansion, there was no fourth, and that was the win condition for Solar. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. We'll see if we can keep this going or if Maru can bring it back. As alluded to, Tokamak. Tokamak is a much larger map in the map pool, a much more defensive map as well. If Maru were to go into mech, I do feel like it would be more favored on this map. So we'll see. We'll see if he does mech it up. As spawning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg himself representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself, representing Team Vitality down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Maru. Here we go. Maru once again setting up on the low ground. And we'll see if he does go into mech once again, or if he does embrace some bio. Now, the problem with Tokamak is I feel like this map is going to be working against Maru if he does go bio. Like in my mind, he's still just going to all in if he does go into a more like bio-centric style. And I feel like that's going to favor Solar here on a bit of a larger map, but we'll see. We shall see. As Solar, he had to work so hard for that win. Against the wall of Cyclones. Oh, God. Not like this. And again, it also shows kind of like, in a way, the difference between the compositions of Maru and Gumiho. Like, we were giving so much praise to Gumiho in Game 1 for having so much diversity when it came to his compositions, going into initially a tank-heavy style. Same opener, by the way, same build. Going for a tank-heavy style, then switching into Battle Mag, then switching into Vikings, and into Banshee play, of course, as well, to snipe those Infestors. Maru, he couldn't quite tech up in such a direction. Partly also because he never got a 4th base. True. Did never get a 4th. Meanwhile, behind this, once again, it's going to be Rax into Reactor, into CC, into that factory, and I imagine we're going for another add-on swap into more Hellions. The real question becomes, do we go for another Hellbat push? Do we go for another Armory? Are we going to do the exact same build 2 games in a row? I would hope not, but I wouldn't put it past Maru. Would not put it past him. Behind this, Hatch got pulled into a 3rd, standard opener here out of Solar. Yep, there's the add-on swap. And we're going for the 3rd CC. Okay, 3rd CC is on the way. I believe by now we would have seen, and I mean, hold on. I believe by now we would have seen an Armory, so it looks like we're going for what looks to be the same opener for the most part, except this time no Hellbats. As the Marines are hunting down Overlords, we can see Solar, he is in position. He does hide his Overlord shield on top of the pillars, they are safe. Overlords are safe. Behind this, going for the tech lab. Are we going for another add-on swap? Are we going for a 2-1-1? Okay. Maru, he has my attention. Yep, there it is, Dalibe. We are setting up for a faster Rax. Now, this setup here with the incredibly fast Dalibe before the starport, before the second Rax, this screams a Rax. As we mentioned, even leading up to this game, if we saw Bio out of Maru, I would imagine he's going to go for a 3-base all-in, go for an 8 Rax. This does scream that. So Maru is cutting corners, he's going to be rushing into his 1-1 and 2-2 upgrades. And ideally, 2-2 is lined up with the 3-base all-in. So we've seen this build before from Maru. We'll see how Solar responds to this. We'll see how he scouts. We'll see if he can piece it all together. Solar is being active. Catching out some Marines, not bad. Again, the Marines out in the open. And that's going to be 3, 4, 5. Oh god, every Marine is going to be going down here. Hellion does arrive just in time. Is that Hellion trapped? Okay, thank god. Not trapped. And the Link Scouts doesn't quite confirm. He does see the 3rd CC, but he doesn't get eyes on the double eBay. So incomplete information here from Solar. Behind this, going into Roaches. This is just a really, really common way to play nowadays, just because it's so difficult to defend against bio-heavy pressure and against 8 Raxes when you open up Ling Bang. Like, Roach openers are just safer. They're just a lot safer. We saw Shin excel with them, of course. If you saw Shin at DreamHack, he was going for a non-stop Roach play to survive the early game and to get into Ling Bang Roach Ravager, into eventually Ultras. And we have seen Solar doing the same as of late. He has also been going for that more Ultra style. double Evo chambers. From here, we'll see if we go into melee or range upgrades. If we're going into melee, then we know where this is headed. Okay, range. +1 range initially. So that means we're going to be sticking with Roach Ravager a little bit more here. Now, I'm not expecting +2 range. I expect +1 range into +1 melee. But Roach Ravager heavy style initially to establish ourselves on 4 bases. So this is a much safer approach out of Solar. Meanwhile, 3rd base being taken. There's that 2-2. Again, we're waiting for that 2-2 timing. I believe right now we're getting into a 5-rack setup. Yep, 5 racks so far. And we're expecting to see 3 more racks behind this. And again, this is gonna hit like a truck. It's gonna hit hard. Initially, we do have our Hellbat push, but there should be enough roaches. Yeah. There are enough roaches to defend. Now this early push that Maru just went for, that just got shut down, this tells me that the A-Rax is going to be weaker. He just lost how many? He just lost 2 Hellbats. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that honestly really supports the A-Rax quite nicely, specifically to protecting those tanks. So it does lose a couple of Hellbats. Behind this, 2 more Raxes on the way. We're expecting 1 more. So he's up to 7. Okay, he's up to a 7-rack setup. And we don't expect him to take gases. So basically what we're expecting here from as soon as we saw the double Evo chamber, double eBay, is no gases at the 3rd base, into an A-rack setup, into a 3-base all-in. And he's almost there. Again, he's still waiting a little bit longer here for +2. Solar, he cuts workers. Okay, never mind. Solar, he's gonna hit first. This I was not expecting. Solar, he cuts droning here at 70. Does move up with Ling Roach Ravager. Solar, he's maxed out. Let's go. And he's going to hit Maru before the A-Rax is ready. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be almost like an anti-timing to Maru. Where Solar's pushing in. 2-2 is still seconds away. Again, Maru, he's not ready yet. And Solar's pushing in. So far, does bow down, does focus on the initial Hellbats. Trying to get on top of the tanks. And he's so close. He's so close. And otherwise, oh my god, they don't quite connect. The tank will eventually go down. It is dealing quite a bit of damage, actually. Yeah, that one tank putting in a lot of work, but it looks like Solar, he's done it. He has done it. He breaks through the Marines, breaks through the Bio. And again, this hits just before the 8-racks. Very nicely timed here. Very nicely thought out of Solar. So many people have been wondering, how do you deal with these 3-base all-ins that have been so popular? It's, you all-in first. Let's go. Does strike first. Yeah, without Maru, he cannot keep up. He cannot keep up. Not anymore. Again, Soul just reading Maru like a book. Did shut him down. With this, Maru is stuck on 2 bases. And Solo should overwhelm. He should overwhelm here. I mean, he doesn't even need to. Just like the last game, his wing condition just contain the Terran on 2 bases. Doesn't have to break him, but he's going for it. He wants it. He wants the kill. Vials down the tank. The tank goes down, and there's nothing left. There's nothing here. Nothing left. Boys are being pulled. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take the 2-0, and he will take down Maru, advancing on into the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he does claim the series. Again, a very well thought out build here out of Solar. Now, again, if you've been watching Maru as of late, you would know that Maru is very predictable. He's very predictable as of late. If you remember, at the start of the broadcast, we mentioned how during GSL Season 1 and during DreamHack Dallas, what did Maru do? He went for non-stop all-ins. He went for non-stop 2-base all-ins and 3-base all-ins. And he was going for one here as well. He was going for a 3-base all-in here on Tokamak. He was going for the 8-racks well ahead of time. And this build that Solo went for is designed to hard counter an 8-rack. So really, really well thought out. And again, even though Solo didn't scout and didn't confirm the 8-racks, because Maru has been very predictable as of late, Solar does just assume and does shut him down. So very well thought out, does hard counter Maru. GG takes it 2-0. Game 1 was a lot closer, was a lot more clutch, and I'll be honest, I've been waiting for this. Like, I've been waiting to see what's how the meta shifts. For those that are curious, right now the meta is in flux. What I mean by that, there's been a lot of all-ins in TVP and a lot of all-ins in ZVP. and players have been like adjusting and trying to figure that out as a result. Specifically, Terran players have been going for a lot of all-ins at both matchups. And there's just been a lot of all-ins from Terran against Zerg and against Protoss. And we've seen Protoss players adjust, going for safer builds and going for earlier storm timings and earlier charge timings as a result to survive those all-ins in TvP. Likewise, we have seen Zerg players struggle to adapt here, so I was curious to see what Solar would be cooking in preparation for an 8-Rax, and we saw it. He did hit with 70 drones. He was on 3 base saturation, he was on 1 extra gas at the 4th base to afford more Ravagers, and he maxed out off of 70 drones with Ling, Roach, Ravager, and he hit just before 2-2 finished, and just before the 8th Rax really got up and running, before the tank count got too high. Again, this build was specifically designed to hard counter the 8-Rax. GG, well played. Whew. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Maru won't lose this if he played 100 times. I feel like this is like, again, like a bit of a lack of understanding as to how Maru's been playing as of late. Like Maru, he's been playing very, very specifically over the past couple of months. And we saw it at DreamHack, we saw it in GSL Season 1 as well. Maru's been very, again, just hyper aggressive. But what I will say is that that's not the case in TvT. And I'm going to be excited to see how things turn out as we do switch things over and catch up on the bracket here. From the top, we have Rogue. Rogue takes down Gumiho 2-1. We have Solar taking down Maru 2-0. And as a result, we do have our following matchups here. It is going to be a little bit bugged out. Oh no. Hopefully we can fix that up. But it is going to be Rogue versus Solar in the winners match and Gumiho versus Maru in the losers match. Oh boy. So that is going to be coming up next. Oh. Sorry, our spreadsheet is a little bit messed up. So hopefully we can fix that up. But even though Maru has been hyper aggressive and hyper all-in against Protoss and against Zerg, he has been playing standard against Terran. So that TvT between Gumiho and Maru, that's going to be a spicy one. So I do look forward to that. Meanwhile, Rogue versus Solar, that's going to be crazy as well. Rogue, he is very tricky in TvZ. I've been watching him as of late. He has had so much specific and specialized builds in TvZ, going for crazy all-ins, crazy timings. I expect that to be a short series, not gonna lie. I expect that to be a short series here. Between Rogue and Solar, Gumiho and Maru, I can see that going the distance, 100%, and that's going to be a hard one to call. Gumiho and Maru, they've been having a really back and forth history as of late. We have seen, if you remember, Gumiho did defeat Maru in the GSL Season 1 qualifiers, and then Maru beat Gumiho, I want to say in the GSL Season 2 qualifiers. Like, I remember he had his rematch. And if you remember, Maru, he even infamously, Maru, he did play Protoss against Gumiho last season. It was in the group stage, right? It was in, I think it was group stage 2? I think it was either group stage 1 or group stage 2, where Maru, he played Protoss, yeah, it was group stage 2. We played Protoss against Gumiho to avoid that TvT. We might see that again, by the way. We might see Maru also whip out the Protoss for a second time, just because Gumiho is a TvT specialist. So that's going to be crazy. We'll get there. It is going to be crazy. For now, though, we're going to be going on a break. Again, we're halfway through the broadcast. We're going to go on a short break here, and then we'll be jumping into that next round. But again, so a couple things in regards to like the meta and how things are changing. If this build does rise in popularity against Terran players going for the 8-Rax, then 8-Raxes are going to die down, and then we're going to be seeing some more standard play once again. Like, that's typically how the meta kind of like shifts and turns. Like, if something rises in popularity that's really strong, if players find out a better way to deal with it, then that build kind of like dies down a little bit, and then you get back into more standard play. So I know a lot of people have been really concerned and really scared about the fact that we have been getting a lot of all-ins in a lot of matchups, but I do think that that's slowly changing, just as players are getting better at defending against those all-ins, as we're seeing here, and as we're also seeing in TvP as well. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have Solar and Rogue facing off. See you soon after the break.